Good morning, my friends. Welcome to today's training, our final training of this week, and the final training on creating happy relationships this round. So, today we're going to be concluding with how we keep ourselves in relationship. Before we get that started, I need to share this out to the community. So, if you're new to me, Marshall Burtcher, and I help codependents create happiness after codependency by helping them heal their trauma bond, discover who they are, and create happy relationships after codependency. And the community is your safe haven here on the internet. It's where you can find a private, secure community where you can share what you're going through, get support for what you're going through, and also get access to tools and trainings, opportunities to work with me, as well as just a sanity check. Right? You're not alone in this journey. So that link for the Thriving Beyond Codependency community is above on Facebook, below on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button for me. Thank you guys for doing that. By the way, really appreciate that. I'm going to get this shared out to the community here. And boom. Here we are. So, codependency and relationships. We have a tendency to lose ourselves in the relationship. This is a thing we do. Codependent brains become absorbed in the relationship. The relationship becomes the thing that is most important. It's the most priority for that person. And so they kind of enmesh or blend themselves with the other individual. Now, this is the challenge for us, and this is where the relationship strategy is very different than other strategies out there. This is part of the element that is custom for codependence, and that is learning how to keep ourselves while in relationship with another person that we have a positive, secure attachment to, and that we love, that we're into, that we enjoy. Now, one of the challenges here is before we can actually keep ourselves in a relationship, we have to be able to know ourselves, right? We got to be able to identify ourselves in a relationship, keep ourselves grounded in our body, keep ourselves grounded in our awareness of what we think, what we feel, what matters to us. That's step number one. And well, that's actually step number two. The step behind that is actually healing the trauma bond. This is why I do the 3 steps. This is why I teach these 3 specific things, because to live happily after codependency, you got to have all 3. And so it starts with step 1 in healing the trauma bond. What is trauma bond? The trauma bond is the emotional attachment we have to a human being that has abused us. We love them instead of, well, we fear love them. But we are hooked on their approval, their love, and we are bypassing their abuse. We're excusing it. We're dismissing it. We're internalizing it as something wrong with us. We're causing this in them. We have to fix ourselves, and that will fix them. It's the classic love addiction element in codependency. To keep ourselves in a relationship, this has to be addressed first. The trauma bond has to be deconstructed by accessing reality, creating safety and regulation with the nervous system and your core relationships, and you got to get sane. You got to know what's real. Then you got to build healthy means of connecting with other human beings in which to meet your needs. That is the foundation of it. So you got to restore sanity, safety, and connection to heal the trauma bond. That is what keeps you, that's your first step in keeping yourself in a relationship. Once you have this down, you're able to identify relationships or identify fantasies, poke and pop them, and be able to access reality and confront that and receive reality as it is. Then you're ready for that next step, is knowing yourself. It's to understand who you want to be, who you've been, what your needs are, how they work, how to access your internal voice, how to discern between programming and the voice of other people, how to access and live from your own innate value, and follow the vision that really matters for you in your life. Those 2 steps lead you to step 3, and that's creating happy relationships. in which we can keep ourselves, because we show up in the relationship as a person with more wholeness, more centeredness, more anchoring in the body, more accountability to ourselves about what we're choosing, what we're doing. Hey, Adam, how are you? More access to us. We're more in sync with who we are, with what we understand, what our voice is, what we're feeling, what we need, what we want. We're willing to admit that things aren't working. We're also willing to admit when things are working. Also, I'm aware of the delay on the transmission. The broadcast is having issues. The joy of internet today. So this is being recorded. It'll be uploaded to YouTube, and you won't have the delays in that. So when it comes to keeping ourselves, it starts first with healing that trauma bond, which means we're reclaiming ourselves from other people, healing the attachment, distress, and injury we have, and coming to know ourselves as a separate individual from others. I am me, you are you. I can define where I end and begin, and I can define where you start. I may not know where you end, but I know where you start, which means, okay, we got a boundary. I can identify my feelings as separate from other people's feelings. I can identify my thoughts separate from them. I am willing to live in the difference between me and another human being. And I am willing to do the painful work of saying no. I am willing to do the definitely the discomforting work of rejecting another human being. And I am willing to be rejected, and I am willing to accept no without internalizing it as a judgment against my value. That's the fundamental of keeping ourselves. My needs, my wants, my feelings, my experiences, my thoughts, my person matters. Am I willing to occupy that space unconditionally? Am I willing to lose love to keep myself? Boom. That is how we keep ourselves. Because when we love someone else in codependency, we tend to shed ourselves. We tend to void ourselves and like, oh, I'll give all of me to you, because that's not what love does. Love keeps self and it respects other. Love is honest. Love is clear. Love is direct, clear, and simple in how it arrives. Love is actually can be rejecting. Meaning, if you're not working together, you're not really compatible for your well-being or even bigger, your happiness. It'd say no. Rejection can be a loving act that way. Being rejected can be a loving act because it points us towards points us away where we don't fit, which opens up the possibility and the frontier of connecting with people with whom we do fit. Because it really comes down to that organic compatibility, not just making something work, trying to force that square into a circle, right? So yeah, keeping ourselves starts with healing that trauma bond and then coming to know ourselves and valuing who we really are. This is how we keep ourselves in relationship. Because as we don't enmesh with the relationship, but we show up as a whole person and they're a whole person, then we create a bond, a secure bond, and mutual experience, which is what we would classify as a relationship. And that is where we can grow as who we are. They can grow as who they are. So we can keep our individuality while maintaining unity. We can support each other in our individuality, our own growth, our own discovery, and enjoy a mutual experience where we have a shared vision for each other and for our lives together. That's relationship that functions. It may not sound like, a lot of times people come from the fantasy angle of relationship, that they complete you and that your whole life is going to be so much better with the relationship, things like that. Healthy relationships add to your well-being and your happiness. They are definitely an integral component to the expansion of those things, but they're not the whole of it. See, there's much more to you than just the relationship. There's all of you outside of that relationship. There's the personal desires you have, the personal dreams you want to achieve or experience. There's just the simple enjoyment of your existence, of your beingness. See, there's much more to you than the need for a relationship. Because a relationship isn't going to give you what you want. It's not going to solve your problems. It's not going to make you whole. It's not going to end your loneliness. It's not going to solve the emptiness, because that's not a relationship's job. A relationship's job is to experience each other in a mutual way that's safe and empowering for you. It's to expand your life with someone else. But it isn't to complete you. It isn't to heal you. It isn't to solve a problem in your world. It's to add to your life and to assist you in challenging maybe that emptiness or loneliness you might find in yourself. It might be a supportive platform in which to grow through, but ultimately it's there for your expansion and companionship, intimacy, support, and play. You can enjoy life together with another human being. But that other human being is a limited person. They're just like you. They're struggling with their own things. They have their own loneliness and emptiness to wrestle with. They have their own desires that they are attempting to accomplish. They are their own beingness. So when we come back to the discovery element of relationship, this is where we really can show up in keeping ourselves and allowing them to keep themselves, so that we can build unity while being also anchored in our own wholeness. And that is where we have a lot of peace and freedom in our world. So guys, to keep yourself in a relationship, you need to heal the trauma bond. And that requires you to come back to your body, get safe with feeling emotion, regulating any distress, healing any attachment injury, making a commitment to be honest with yourself and to choose your well-being first in all things. Those are those two commitments we talked about a couple of weeks ago. And ultimately, it's about being able and being willing to choose yourself over love, because your well-being comes first. You come first. That's it for today's training, guys. I appreciate you. Remember that you're worth knowing, loving, and keeping. You have 3 days left to enroll in this year's live launch of the relationship strategy. It won't be started again until August of 2021, so we got some time, 9 months there. The link is above to enroll, above on Facebook, below on YouTube. The link is up there to enroll. We start this Sunday. I'd love to have you as one of my students in that. It also includes access to the Heal Yourself membership, which is going to get you access to the upcoming Restoring Innocence course. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be pretty cool. Okay, guys. Have a great day. Be safe out there. Let me know in the comments any thoughts or questions. And yeah, I'll see you later.